Welcome back to ProSide Productions. This is the back nine of the 2020 Buckhorn Open presented by CADL. Back nine, round 2. Second round of the day. So we're skipping from 8 to 10. I didn't mention it earlier. We had to take out 2 holes.
Hole 9 and hole 11
Hole
were
9
both
and hole
flooded.
11. A little bit of a water issue. Some of the baskets were underwater at the time. So they incorporated, 2 new holes. The practice hole, hole 0, and the one along the...
Well, 0, and then they're throwing from the gravel walkway to the practice basket.
Hole P, I think is what they called it.
Yep.
Hole 10.
Me,
Still on the card.
Taylor,
Philip Bartholomew.
Sean, Raven. Looks like me, Taylor, and Sean are all tied at 15 under. Raven's a couple strokes back, 12 under.
Could have been 13. Had a weird spit out putt in hole 2. That was unfortunate. This is the water hole. The second kind of water hole that comes in. Actually, it would be the third if hole 9 wasn't in play.
Hole 10 from the long. 287, but it just doesn't feel right sometimes when you have to throw it over the water like that.
Love this shot. Whenever I think of Buckhorn, I think of this shot.
And Taylor's, that's a really good position to be. It's really easy when the wind kicks up in this hole to let your disc go really far left into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way that the wind usually blows on this hole. It's a little bit of a right to left.
As you can see, it's pretty open.
I threw a Malta here, and it just like keeps going straight, and it hyzered back, but it's going to be really close to being out of bounds. If not, it may be out of bounds.
That looked like a splash in the water.
And I'm not sure if it touched inbounds either, so we might have a situation on our hands right there. Sean's throwing probably, well, I want to say probably an overstable driver, but he might just be throwing a rock.
Oh, and it looks like
I think he threw a rock, and he turned it over.
Yeah, that thing started to S-curve pretty soon. He knew immediately. It looked like he just...
I think that was one of his ching rocks, and that really sucks to lose because those are hard to come by now.
Mm-hmm.
Raven's got some type of overstable mid-range here.
I think he's going to have to play from the short tee pad now.
Yep, I think you're right, or you can choose to re-tee.
Raven hits early and pretty far up the hill. I would say about 30 feet.
And I'm going to throw... I think this is probably a provisional at the time because I didn't know if I was in bounds or not.
What'd you use the first one?
A Malta, and this is another Malta. I had 2 in the bag because I knew there was this hole.
The more stable one or the more understable?
Well, they're both pretty stable. Doesn't feel like there's much wind, and I played this really safe. This is what I'm saying. It's really easy to throw it left up the hill when you just don't commit to that shot. Especially with a little bit right to left wind on the tee pad.
And especially seeing somebody else throw it into the water right before you do. Just kind of mind messes with you.
Gets in your head.
Definitely.
It definitely does.
The long walk.
Yep, that's right. So Sean's opting to play it from the short tee pad. And I just had only played the short tee pad one time, so I didn't want to... I just felt more comfortable playing it from the long, I guess.
And he just... Perfect
Making
shot.
me kind of think twice about throwing it from the long tee pad when he put it that close.
Still doesn't look very happy with it. Maybe just the situation he had to do that.
Yep, he wants to get birdies out here. This is a birdie hole. So it looks like I was out of bounds. This is going to be my putt for 4. Looking right at the water. Probably about 40 feet away. Maybe a little more. But I'm going to run it. I'm not scared.
At that height, yeah, if you do not hit something, you are going into the water.
You're not scared until you let go, and then you're like, oh crap, I missed that one. And with a little bit of wind and a really bad release, you're going way deep in the water. and I just didn't commit to it.
No, you didn't want to keep it completely flat. You wanted to keep it with a little bit of hyzer.
Yeah, I didn't want to like just laser beam it into the water.
Mm-hmm. It looks like you still got a pretty decent opportunity there.
Yep, I think I'll be able to get up and down for a 5. Raven's got about a 25 footer here.
This first two?
This is for a deuce.
Oh, and he sailed
no.
it. Oh, and he is not happy about that.
Does it taste good, Raven? This is a 2 for Taylor. This is the ideal spot to be, just up on the hill. 25, 30 feet away. This one's probably closer to 20 feet. No problem.
Confident putt.
This is where you don't want to take a number. I'm looking at a 5, and that's the highest I'd like to see it get. 5 on this hole just kind of feels really bad.
Behind Raven and Phil on the other side, that was where hole 9 used to be. That's the hole that's underwater. More towards the left is, 8 at the end.
As time goes on, that hole seems to just be getting more and more flooded more frequently, so we'll see how long it lasts. We've got hole 12 here, 297 feet. Same tee pad as the first round from the shorts. It still, in my opinion, plays longer than 297 feet.
I think it lines up a lot better for a flick, which I think you see a lot of the field.
Yep, most people are going to opt for a flick. Taylor's got a really sweet forehand, and he's going to show it to you right here.
Basically, you just want to pipe it down that line straight for about 200, 250, and then let the disc just start
working its way up the hill.
Yeah, up
and that's what Taylor does. He just doesn't get enough juice on it, but he's looking at a 40-footer, probably almost pin high. Sean's throwing a backhand. He's a predominant backhand player.
Is a very tough shot.
And he just shows you how it's done. He kind of gets a little sneaky through there in the early gap, but you got to do what you got to do to get a birdie here with a backhand. This is not a backhand hole, quote unquote.
You got to make it work for you if you're doing the backhand.
Raven, another great forehand player. He sends it right down the middle. Hyzering out on him a little bit, though. Catches those trees on the left side. Right side, excuse me. There's a group of 3 trees on the right, and then you can see that one tree right down at the end of the fairway on the left. You just want to go to the right of that one tree in the middle, right down there on the left. If you're hyzering past that, you're going to be good. I crushed this, but crushed it on a hyzer and kind of skipped through the early gap. Me and Sean, he threw a backhand through the early, and I threw a forehand through the early gap, but I'll take it. Raven's got about 150 feet left.
Just a nice, short little approach, and yeah, that looked good.
Taylor from, I would say, almost a really good shot, but just didn't get the skip he wanted.
Had a good opportunity, but
50-foot uphill putt, that looks about how a 50-foot uphill putt looks when you don't get it up. And I'm probably about 40 feet. A 2 would be sweet right now. Getting a deuce right after a 5. Just didn't commit all the way. Didn't commit. It was a little left.
not ProSide.
Not ProSide.
Not ProSide.
And here's Sean.
He's got that tree to compete with, and he just goes
backhand on
right
hole
around.
12.
Doesn't even see it.
Wow. That's how you show everybody up throwing a backhand on hole 12. I mean, that's really impressive.
Some love.
Taylor's tapping in.
So for forehands, what do you like to throw driver wise? I know yours is predominantly like, not really flexing or flipping up. You do more stable stuff?
Yeah, I think I've got a Raptor and a Force and a Zeus and maybe an Undertaker depending on the style forehand. This is hole 13, 234 feet. you're going to throw a shot. Basically, see the gap up there? You want to throw it straight at the trees right on the right-hand side of that gap and just let it turn up.
Yeah, this one was tough for me to get. I was thinking at first an overstable mid, but with the uphill, you kind of want something to go even more understable. You want it to keep going right no matter what and not kind of flexing out because the
Basically,
higher...
Taylor did exactly what I was talking about. You throw at the trees on the left and you just let it turn right into the basket. And the shot's there. And if you throw a nice smooth turnover, you can get it. You can get it almost all the way up there.
I always thought the flick was a lot tougher because you got to push it so far forward, and then usually when you go more distance, you want to push it out further left.
Well, when you're Raven,
Yeah.
it just doesn't really matter.
Or slingshot Jordan.
Yep, slingshot engaged. I'm gonna try to engage the slingshot here with the backhand white challenger. And I get this one turned a little early, but I get past the big tree, and it just slides up. That's the pine straw right there.
That's nice.
Taylor's got a little gap to pop a forehand through, no problem.
Just looking for the approach right now, just trying to get as close as possible, and he does that.
Sean's got a long look at it too. This would be a great two for Sean to get back on the birdie train. And he does it. That's 2 in a row. That's sweet.
Oh, he is happy about that one.
Man, I'm a big fan of
That was
Sean
a long
Gough.
putt.
I got a couple text messages from him not too long ago. He said, it's not Gough. People say Gough. Maybe it is Gough. I don't know. I'm going to say it's Sean Gough, and I'm sticking with it.
Wait, so golf as in like cough.
Like Goff, like Gough.
Oh, Gough.
Raven,
okay.
he gets a 2 with the forehand. And I get to tap in a 2. And after a long string of pars and a double bogey, I finally get a birdie again. Yay, Philip.
Hole 14, 270 feet.
Same thing basically as the shorts, just tee pads 30 feet back.
This one,
Almost the exact same hole.
again, is another flick. Yeah, just adjusts for an extra 50 or 60 feet from the tee pad ahead of you. And it's kind of going downhill at the very end, flat and straightforward for the majority of the hole.
It's going to slope down to the right for the last 100 feet of the fairway, and it's going to go downhill a little bit.
All you want to do is get past this tree line on the right side, which Sean went really early in.
Yep, he probably wishes that he threw a backhand because he throws sick backhands. Raven wouldn't even think about throwing a backhand here. This is, once again, licking his chops on this hole. This is his hole.
Hole 14. Taylor and Sean are now at 16 down. Phil's at 14.
And look at that. Like I said, perfect shot. He's got such a smooth forehand to just pimp one right down the middle on a hyzer and just let it flip up and fade right into the basket.
Park job.
And I'm throwing a Raptor. So that's the difference between someone with a really nice touch forehand. I'm pretty sure that Raven threw a mid-range there.
Yeah.
And now I'm throwing a driver. So I'm going to get a lot more ground action. And you kind of almost have to throw it a little bit harder with the driver so that you get down there.
Yeah.
So I think looking at it now, I would throw a zone.
Yeah, I think with the mid-ranges... I
put that out wide enough. I think that's going to be good.
Yeah. Mid-ranges, high. With the drivers, I think you do want to throw it a little bit lower, skip forward, and then come back towards the basket on the roll.
Right.
Expecting
you don't want to flex it too much here, though, because if you get straight, you're going to go in the woods too straight, and you won't get down there to the basket.
There's 3 shots pretty much right under the basket.
Here's Taylor. He's, once again, great forehand player. Looking at this hole like it's a deuce. And he just pulls it a little bit left.
My mistake, 2 shots.
Very uncharacteristic of Taylor Rafaleowski. Bringing the razor claw back out.
Looks like he's going to have to ante it around these first couple trees and then S-curve back towards the basket going downhill. This is a tricky shot. He can get into a roller situation really easy.
Uh-oh.
And he doesn't put it out wide enough.
I don't think in any scenario ever I would have ever seen Taylor hitting that tree.
Yeah.
He's like so clever with his forehands. And you can see right here. It's so good.
Probably just got a little razzled after hitting that first tree. Didn't think hard enough on the second one.
And here's Sean. He's like, I don't think he penetrated on the right side. He just kind of stayed on the right side of the fairway.
Standstill backhand with an ante, and he pushes it a little bit too far on the...
I think he put it a little too high, and he caught a branch.
That's what it is. And just pitches up for the next
Smart. Very smart. That's what you have to do right there. You have to make the wise decision just to lay it up.
This is for the 2.
This is a 20-footer for a 2.
More on the downhill side.
I'm trying to get back on the train here. These are the birdie holes.
There it is.
These are the birdie holes. You got to finish strong.
Felt bad at getting on the other side of these guys.
Yeah, but you got such a good angle. Look at that. That's a
you
great
get
angle to
facial
catch
expressions. You get everything.
Yep, and you can see he's frustrated, but he's keeping it together. You got to keep it together. You got to finish the round strong.
He didn't like the line. It was off just a touch, but he still makes it in.
Ravens, man, that face he's got so many facial expressions, and most of them are very happy.
I think we'll see a collage later on at some point.
All right, hole 15, same tee, same shot as the first round. Just trying to throw a straight shot right into the hill. Don't get it too high because you're going to go in the pond behind the basket. Slide up to the erosion area and just play it as casual relief. So the hill is lined with a little bit of an erosion area where you have to... What's the fancy word you called it?
I don't know.
You're going to have to look back at round 1 footage if you want to find that out. But the erosion control area, something like that. And I've kind of a little left, but up there right before the little string that tells you if you're too far or not.
I want to see somebody go for this, because if you're going for it, I feel like it's almost kind of a mistake.
Sean's throwing a banger.
If you miss that, you're going right into the water.
Perfect. Yeah. I don't know. If you want to give me a disc to throw at this basket, I'll be more than happy to throw it.
Water's so deep on the other side, and it's just so close, like 2 steps away.
And Taylor pulls that razor claw a little bit left, but I think he's going to have a look. Raven's going to lay it up. He's going to lay that up. I hope that was a layup because it kind of looked like he was running it. Here I am from about 25 feet up the hill. In any casual round, I would tell someone, hey, would you go up there and backboard for me so I don't lose my putter?
Can you do that legally? Not in the PGA.
I don't think anyone can touch your disc in a PDGA.
Okay.
At least I don't want them to.
That's a good putt. Good too.
Yep, I'm glad to get... There's a turkey. Just turned it back on. All right, and so you can see the flags. Taylor's not in the erosion area.
Okay.
He's going to have... I think he has a pretty clean look at it through this gap. And he wants to get right back on the birdie train and catch a couple birdies and finish this round strong.
There might be a tree right behind the basket that made him feel a little bit more comfortable too. He got some kind of backboard just in case you go right past it.
Yep. And Sean, he's right in front of the erosion area and sticks it in there, no problem.
So 2, 2, 2, 3 twos.
3 twos and a 3. Nice. Nice, Raven. He's pumped. He's always pumped. Hole 16, 420 feet. You're basically throwing a layup to the short pad here, and then you're going to throw as straight as possible, straight at the basket from there.
Yeah, this is another hole like hole 3 or 4.
Yep, it's hole 4 where you're throwing...
This one's even more of like an L turn shape. As you can see,
I didn't get up the hill enough there, so like 20 more feet on that drive, and I would have been like super happy. But I skipped a little early.
Most of the time, everybody's just going to be throwing completely straight.
Yep.
No fade at all. You just want to get right on the tee pad, basically,
and
for
really
a straight-on shot.
One of the best shots, like that's really one of the great shots that you can throw. But a stall shot or something really overstable that you can just throw to the top of the hill, and then right when it hits the hill, it just skips left.
Yeah, there's a good flare shot if you come in right before the hill and flare.
You don't want to go too far, though, because then
Be out of place for the next
you're going to have
shot.
to be throwing some patent pending stance, and Taylor basically does what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
He's a little short, but that's pretty good. Raven, he's just watching some other disc golfers. Trying to get inspired here.
I'm not a big fan of this shot, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it.
He did exactly what you said to do, almost. You put it on the tee pad. I would be happy if I was there.
Mm-hmm. So he's got a straight-on shot towards the basket now. As you can tell, the tee pad right to his right, so he's just where you want to be.
He just piped
and
that.
Makes it look so easy for the upshot.
Taylor's looking to get a little backhand hyzer flip.
Little on the inside. It's going to make it hard. You're going to have to go a little bit wider on your backhand. But as long as you got something a little understable, it should
that
pop up flat.
P3X again, and it did not flip up. It just looked like it held that line the whole way.
Sean looks like he's dead center.
Sean's got a banger GT here.
Stand still, backhand.
Yep, he's just looking to pipe this thing right down the middle. And they're flippy. Look at it. I thought that was going to fade right into the basket.
Too much to the right. Maybe caught a high branch you couldn't see.
So now here I have a ESP Raptor.
So you came in a little too early.
Yeah, I didn't have enough juice on that shot.
It didn't skip forward enough. Must have hit a root or something.
No, I just didn't get it up there.
Gotcha.
I think I just sawed it off a little bit.
So what are you thinking? Like
I'm flexing a Raptor, and that one's like it's a little bit straighter, so it didn't come out of it enough, but it's up there. It's 40, 50 feet probably.
Definitely got a putt. All right, so go,
Sean. Sean's got about 60 feet left.
Doesn't look like. No, it is obstructed. And he tried to do the Annie around the tree, and he hits it.
Get out of here, obstructions. Perfect putt. That's a Sean Gough moment. He does that stuff.
Almost looked like he jumped to the left, like side shuffled and putted.
Let's see if I can do it. I got about a 30, 35 footer here. I want to keep the birdie train going.
Is that stump right in your way?
Apparently not.
Okay.
But I don't think it was. Taylor's probably a couple feet closer than me. And just tickles out.
He looks so focused whenever he putts. Well, everybody does, I guess.
I don't know. Not me sometimes. I'm
Glasses,
like just staring out into space.
Maybe that's what it is, the glasses. You can't really tell.
That's why I wear them. Poker face, you know?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yep.
All right. You got this one, hole 17.
17. The Mammer Jammer across the lake. Whoever has the brass cojones to get across.
Not I.
Come on.
I'm going to lay it up with the zone. Basically, the same shot from the shorts for me, except a little bit harder. And I'm just trying to put it right down in the middle, just like that. Throw an up shot from there.
430-something feet. I mean, like, if it was flat ground, I feel like majority of you guys would go for it.
Water
and if there
right
wasn't
in front of us.
water involved, agreed. And kind of a low ceiling. It's
a gap.
It's in a gap. Yeah,
Yep.
All right.
You're
going to
see basically everybody from the longs lay up.
Yeah.
From the shorts, just a different story. It's in the 300-foot range.
Basically, you want to be dead center. Is the biggest gap you'll have right where Raven hit.
This is probably the most exciting, boring hole that we're going to play. Because everyone's going to throw like a boring shot. But the water makes it exciting on the second shot. And Taylor, I think that he threw the link there because that one flipped up.
And I think you can see the OB flags right next to the fence there. I think it's right on the fence.
Yep. And I'm going to throw a zone again.
And you got a short tee pad to the right of Phil, right along that fence as well. There's an opening for anybody who goes in the water and tries to go for it and misses.
So there's that one tree right near the water. I don't know if you can see it now. You're trying to throw it at that. No, I did not throw it at that.
That looked like it went a little too high and hyzered out really quickly.
I didn't commit to the shot. I got scared of the water, and I was like, I just got to get it over there. And I didn't commit. Raven, he commits. And he comes in a little early, but that's, 20, 25 feet. That's not bad.
Good, yeah. Take that.
Now, this is surprising because if I'm throwing 2 forehands and Taylor's throwing 2 backhands, Sounds like we're playing the hole opposite for each other.
And he does this well.
Pops right up.
He keeps it low. I don't know if he was looking for the skip play up, but
Taylor,
it worked out really well.
Take a note from your book and throw it back in next time on this hole.
This is Sean's second shot with a backhand.
I don't know if that made it up or not. I couldn't tell.
And it looked like it slid onto the bank and then slid backwards.
I'm going to run it. I'm going to try and make this.
That looked awkward.
Just barely trying to make it.
That tree on the right looked like it got in your way a lot.
And Sean, no problem. Nice.
I couldn't tell if he took something out of the water or if that was just for his...
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't think he did, though. We're going to find out when we check the scores here. Raven just a little low.
He's not happy about that.
And Taylor just made this hole look so boring.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Going into hole 18, we got 2 holes left. Sean's at 18 under, Raven 14, and me and Taylor are tied at 17 right now.
Oh my gosh.
Hole 18, 351, playing uphill the whole way, playing about 400 feet, super tight gap, and then you've got an inside alley and an outside alley. I think most of us are going to try and take the right side, the outside alley, and skip up to the basket. And he catches a tree and kicks hard right.
How would you rate this hole compared to all the other ones on this course?
This is a great hole. It's really hard. Takes a really, really nice shot. That was not descriptive. You have to throw pretty much a distance driver in a really tight fairway, which sometimes is uncomfortable because you don't know where it's going to go when you're throwing it at a certain speed. Hopefully you know where it's going to go, but maybe it sticks under your hand and then you get a kick like Sean. So this is a good shot. I'm popping up a force here, and I caught a tree. That sucks. That was going to be a good shot. Raven is throwing the inside line.
Looks like he keeps his body low and really tries to focus on not getting too high on it.
Yep, he's throwing it on a hyzer and just making sure he stays over top of the disc and follows through really good. Sean's got a tricky upshot here. This hole will cause a lot of weird upshots because you have to throw S shots through the trees here once you are, if you haven't progressed up the fairway at least 200 feet, you're dodging trees near the end.
I think he just grip locks that and pulls it really far right. I don't think he was trying to go for that.
Raven is kind of inspiring me right now with this forehand that he's got. This little mid-range touch shot. I like that.
So controlled. Passes right past the basket. Now he's got a little 10-footer.
So now I look at it and I was like, you know what? You can do that? I think I can do that. And I've got my jawbreaker.
You can do, I can do better.
I don't think that's going to be the case here, Carlos. And I pull it a little bit. It's not bad, but it's a little short.
A little short.
And
no trees.
You know when you're just looking to get up and down on a hole and you short it and you're like, man, I just really needed to get that a little bit higher. And then that gets in your head a little bit. And you're like, I just needed to get a little higher. And then every shot you're like, just a little higher.
End of the round, so definitely taking every mental focus.
So this is Sean's wheelhouse. He bangs jump putts, and he just gets a little too low. All right, so now we're going back. Just get it up a little,
right?
Just
Par
get
shot.
it a little higher. And there it is. I could feel it. I could feel it after I threw that upshot. I was like, dude, you're just a little low right now.
I need a Snickers bar. You're not you with...
I mean, right? Taylor had a Snickers bar. He's fine. He's got his... Was that a birdie? I think that was a birdie. I got so lost in myself keeping it low. I didn't even see Taylor get a birdie.
He's 17, so we'll see.
All right.
Nah. No, I think it was par.
Okay, so Sean and Taylor are tied going into the last hole. I'm one stroke back, and Raven is At 14 under, 3 strokes back from the lead.
This is hole P. This was the made-up hole to replace either 9 or 11. This was along the pathway on the right would be hole 1, or now on the left.
Taylor is got that one a little bit sawed off, but he's up there. It looked like it looked like it didn't get flat enough to get all the way there.
No, I think it pushed in the woods a little bit early. He'll still have a putt, but it'll be, I'm guessing, a lot of trees in front.
Raven wants this to flip up, and it's not.
So you can see the parking lot in the background. Basically, you want a pretty stable driver straight towards there and let it finish to the left.
Yep, skip up the pine straw right into the green.
It's not too into the woods, so really you can stay on that gravel fairway for a while until you're finally finishing it in.
And Sean gets that a little bit flatter than the last 2 shots, and you can tell he gets right into the gap. All right, and I've got the purple Raptor here. Let's see if I can't get a 2. Same shot as first round, just throwing it straight up right at the basket and letting it skip in.
A lot lower than the last 2, so you definitely put some more speed into that.
Yep, kept it flat for a little while longer. Didn't get it high, didn't fade. It just kind of kept straight and then faded hard right at the end, skipped on the pine straw. Exactly what I was looking for.
I think you had somewhat of a gallery on the right side near the parking lot, being near the end.
Here's Raven. He's got about 35, 40 feet. And boom, cashes that in.
A little butterfly action, but solid putt.
Oh, looking to finish strong. Just missing. Am side. Pro side, guys. Pro side. Taylor for a 2. Pro side, no problem. And Sean's going to let me and Taylor get him by 1 going into the 3rd round. So it's going to be Taylor, Sean, me, and Brad Ramsey for round 3, the final round of the 2020 Buckhorn Open. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Carlos, appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, man, this has been fun. We got one more round, so really excited to finish this off and see it. Thanks for commentating with us. A lot of work went into this. This is kind of new. We're trying to get North Carolina on the map, show all the courses and how all the players are around here.
The level of competition around here is very high.
And the courses are really competitive and
there's
unique.
Jofo.
Yeah, so shout out to Joe Forrest, Dave Benson, and me.
Carlos Zantana.
But Joe Forrest starting this out, just decided one day, you know what? I want to see more of our local players doing some work. So
You almost killed a lane king.